So I made a lot of mistakes in 2025 when it comes to this whole Pokemon collecting hobby thing. Um, I'm somebody who's always been interested in Pokemon. When I was a kid, I collected the cards. I watched every episode of the show. I was super into it. Had lots of copies of Fire Red and Leaf Green and Crystal. I also played Diamond and Soul Silver, all this stuff. So I was always interested in Pokemon. As I got older, it became uncool to be into Pokemon. I would play like the emulators on my computer and stuff though, and like I got more into like hacking and that kind of thing in high school. And then even like when I was in college, I thought that the Alolan Pokemon TV series was pretty interesting. Pokemon Go obviously had a huge boom, and I was into that. Um, but I was always kind of like, around before the COVID boom, I remember like playing Pokemon Go in public and being like, people are gonna think I'm weird if they see me playing Pokemon. You know what I mean? I'm a grown adult. I'm in college. Like, I'm trying to be cool. Cool thing is to do weightlifting and have money, that kind of thing. Crypto or something. I don't know. But I eventually got back into Pokemon cards around the time 151 came out, I think. And I got back into cards just because 151 was available where I lived. I just picked up 151 tens. And I think I got some cool hits. I got like a Kangaskhan full art. And then I went to Aldi and I got a 3-pack blister of Scarlet Violet base. It was just very widely available. And then I started getting into it more and more. I was into it for about a year. And then I went to a card show and I saw all these cool, amazing cards, and I got into it even further. And also, after about being into Pokemon for a year, there was the boom. The boom happened. And I noticed all of these items that I had seen sitting on the shelf. Because I remember 151 ETBs being in the electronics, like, lock box area, or back in electronics locked up and inside one of those little storage shelves. And I didn't buy it because I felt as if $40 was a lot of money for me and for like where I was at financially. I was like, $40 to rip a bunch of packs, crazy. And I also remember Paldean Fates. I was super into Paldean Fates, but I mean, I would go pick up like one of those 3-pack sticker collections and open it, and like that was cool for me. You know what I mean? That's where Pokemon was at. And I was just smart about it. I had a very strict budget. Spend $20 a month or something, like, open a few packs of a new set. But then this boom happened where I saw all of these products that were available on the shelves, all of these products that were widely available on the Pokemon Center website, not only doubled or tripled in value, like literally quadrupled in value. And that made me all just like, well, I won with some items because I was actively collecting, but it made me feel a lot of like regret that I didn't pounce on these items, and it made me think like this stuff was so valuable that I should have bought more. And I don't know, I feel like I really overdid it. I started to keep a spreadsheet of how much money I've spent, and it's not an exact perfect spreadsheet, but it's like pretty accurate. Like probably 90% of the stuff I buy, I log it on there somehow. And I noticed that because FOMO and because of this artificial scarcity being caused by the scalpers, it's like because there's never anything on the shelf when you are at the store when they drop ETBs or something, you feel as if you have to buy it because it's so rare and it's so special. And I also was able to justify purchasing a lot of singles because everything is going up in value. Everything is booming. It's okay for me to collect all this stuff because it's not losing money. Technically, I'm going to be okay when I go back and I sell all this stuff. What ends up happening with the sealed stuff, I overspent on it, and because I'm an actual collector, I ripped 90% of it. I still have like a few tech sticker collections. I just picked this up the other day. Best Buy. Best Buy has a 1-item limit, and they had like 3 of these left. I already pulled the Charizard, so I'm kind of like, this one I'm not really tempted. I'm collecting these sealed sticker collections because I feel like there's something you can't really tamper with. as much, but like booster boxes and stuff like that scare me. I feel like there's so many scammers, and there's people that definitely... Oh, I gotta get like a thumbnail picture too. Whoa. But, man, the amount of people that probably like weigh their booster box or reseal it or got that x-ray done, it's crazy the amount of people, amount of people throwing money at this stuff. But I just know something changed, like with my psychology of collecting. I went from being like disciplined, having a good budget, to switching to this like spending tons of money, because there's just so much money moving around in Pokemon that it's probably all going to work out well for me. I ended up spending way more money than I could afford. I'm somebody who's not like super wealthy, rich guy. Spent a lot of money. So I went back to sell a lot of items. I still have a ton of cards, and I'm going to go back and sell them. I do have an eBay store. You can look me up. It's Poke Purist. One thing that's crazy to me is I've gone through these items. I've sold $1,200 worth of items. After sales tax and fees and shipping, I only realized $800 of that $1,200 in sold items on eBay. And I also want to say that like I've bought sleeves, top loaders, boxes, probably spent like another 20-30 bucks on bubble mailer, sleeves, envelopes, boxes, all of that stuff. And if you want to be conservative, just say 50 bucks. So I've sold $1,200 worth of these items, and I only realized it's like $750 worth of it. And I put so much